Welcome back to the second part of our hand modeling. Let's go ahead and tab right in here and just get after it. I'm going to start out with grabbing some of these faces for a finger, or from the hand to create the finger. And what I actually am considering doing instead is just grabbing this vertex, Shift S, cursor selection, and let's go to the side, tab out of edit mode, and let's add a circle with 8 vertices. 8 vertices and a scale of, we'll say, 0.25. Okay, go ahead and scale it down to roughly that size. Just a little bit larger than the hand there. So let's go to the front. And I'm going to extrude it out, but I want to kind of extrude it out basically the length of the hand. Not to the wrist, or I mean just about to the wrist, not quite. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 of these squares. I'm going to extrude it out. So E, only edges, whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll constrain it to X. Let's actually scale it down a little bit. Grab and move, pull it up just a bit. Okay, and we want to we basically have to create faces in there now, so F for face, W to subdivide that. And if you create faces all the way down right here, what that's actually going to do is create a triangle. You need to create these edges one at a time, and I'll go ahead and show you. F, created face. It looks like it's just one edge, but if I grab and move this, you'll see that it's got 3 points to create a face, basically. So let's undo that, and just like 2, there we go. That's what we need. So face there, and let's go to edges. It's just a bit faster. Create a face here, 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 and here. Okay, so let's grab these edges, and let's pull those out on, sorry, X. I went into Z, but I meant X. And let's grab these and do the same thing. G, X, pull them out. And all that basically does is rounds out the tip of our finger. Okay, so let's tab out edit mode. For better viewing, I'm going to go ahead and add a modifier of subsurf to it. Let's add 2 levels and turn it on during editing. And use optimal draw. There we go. Now if we tab in edit mode, we'll be able to make out more of the shape of our hand. We're going to be doing some general divisions. We're not going to really change the flow too much, so it's going to help out in this case. So normally I don't recommend using SDS because if you can't make your model look good, then don't mess it up. I'm just going to add a division in the center, basically, and I'm going to add another division on either side of that. But first, let's take one up to the fingertip, almost all the way up there. Okay, that's just going to help us see our divisions a little bit better down here. There we go. And the reason that I put it up forward a little bit from that is because the longest part of the finger is actually between the very first knuckle and the second knuckle. So we're going to add another division down here, and I'm going to add one on either side of that. And you can see these are really close together. Let me go ahead and just pull that back on X a little bit. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these center ones, and I'm going to pull them up on Z just a little bit. Okay, and let's grow those selections, and we'll smooth it once, twice. Okay, now then, let's go ahead and grab this. See what happens if we grow that selection. Nothing good, so let's Alt, Shift, and nope, undo that. Let's Alt, whoops. did something wrong. There we go. Let's alt shift and select that loop. I'm going to scale that on Z a little bit and pull it out on X. I meant X, not Z, by the way. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab just these faces. I should have just left it. I'm going to smooth those twice. Go to the side. Let's pull that up a little bit. Scale it down on Z just a bit. Okay, just working on getting a fingertip. Let's go to edges. Alt right mouse button on that. I'm going to scale that on X down to 0. And there we go. Let's scale that on Y now. Holding shift, we want to just pull it out just a little bit. Okay, let's add a division right here. Do the same thing. I'm going to scale it on Y, holding shift just a little bit. Actually, right click, don't do that. Let's scale it on Z, holding shift. And then pull it down on Z. Just adding some of the meat between the fingers there. Okay, let's add another division here. Scale it on Z as well. And I'm not going to move that one way or the other. Let's go ahead and go to vertices. Let's grab those knuckles and even this one. And we're going to pull those up on Z just a little bit more. Okay. We'll grab those vertexes on either side right there. And I'm going to scale those up. That's going to open it up for the knuckle a little bit. Creating a nice shape there. Let's pull that back on X a little bit. It's a little bit up there a little bit. So let's scale those up. And you can go through here and add as many divisions as you want, just about adding detail. But this is basically the basis of it. I am going to play with maybe another division right in here. I'm going to pull that back so we can kind of round out that knuckle. Not knuckle, I'm sorry. Place for a fingernail. So let's add a division right in the middle. And scale that up a little bit on Y. Hold shift because we don't have a lot to work with right here. There we go. That looks about right to me. Let's actually scale it on Z just a hair. Scale it up. There we go. Okay, so let's go to our faces. And I'm going to hit E to extrude the region. And I'm just going to click again. Just leave it like that. We'll just scale it down. Okay. Actually, let's undo that. Okay. E, region, take it down. Right off the bat. It's going to pull it down into the finger. And then E again to extrude the region. I'm actually going to do this twice. I'm going to pull that up to where it's pretty much flush. And I'm going to scale it out just a little bit. And let's do another extruder region. And that was wrong. I messed that up. Okay, let's extrude that again. There we go. That's good. Just a little extrusion. I want to create a separation between the next extrusion we do and the one below this one because we're going to be pulling part of it out. So extrude that region. There we go. Now then, grab these. We can do it one of two ways. We can extrude that out to create a long fingernail. Oops. Let's try this again. Okay. For some reason, it keeps going to extrude on X. And I don't know why. Or I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. But anyway, we can extrude it out and make a longer fingernail. Like so. Or we could just pull those out and create a shorter fingernail. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with this longer one. So let's go ahead and, whoops. Do a cursor selection, center on it, there we go. Somehow we got way out there. And let's go to the front. I'm going to rotate that a little bit so that this band flows a little bit better. Like that. Let's pull it up a little bit. And I'm going to smooth that as well. 2 times. Okay, just start working with some of these vertices. Just rounding that out a little bit. And let's go ahead and alt-right mouse button on those. You can see it didn't travel all the way around, so we can just scale that up on X. I'm sorry, Y. And just kind of play with the shape of our fingernail a little bit. Now then, these look like they are a little bit pointy, so let's pull those out on X. That's a little bit better. And let's go to the front. Maybe we can pull those down a little bit on Z. Okay. So there we have a basic fingernail. We can add more divisions and whatnot back here. Let's pull this back on X a little bit. Or you can do all kinds of stuff. You can add more definition right here. I personally like to grab these and kind of pull them in, kind of getting them to overlap a little bit with the fingernail. Just using some grab and move. I'm going to do those though. We can add a loop in here as well and add a lot more divisions or a lot more definition to it. And I think I messed that up. Yeah, I sure did. Okay. Well, it's hard to get in there with the SDS on. I'm not going to really mess with it. Excuse me. So I'm going to leave that just like that. Tab out edit mode. And let's go ahead and go back up and get rid of that SDS layer. Let's get back in there. Okay, so let's go to the top. All I'm going to do is Shift D, copy that, and pull this around to this one. Scale it down just a little bit to where the tip of the finger pretty much reaches about halfway through the fingernail. Let's make another one, just like that. This one I'm just going to scale up just a little bit, not a whole lot. One more for the pinky. Obviously we're going to scale that down quite a bit to where it's right about behind the knuckle. Right about there. If you look at your own hand as reference, you can kind of see mine's actually a little bit further back than that. But, you know, it's kind of up to you if you want to do a little bit different. Not every hand is exactly the same, so let's copy one more for the thumb. And the thumb's a little bit different. Let's tab into edit mode. We're basically going to delete everything up to the knuckle right here, so let's turn off backface calling. A to deselect anything selected, B for box, and let's just grab all of these. Whoops. B for box. You don't have to hold down shift or anything with box, it'll just keep selecting more. And let's erase those vertices. Let's go ahead and alt right mouse button on this. Scale that on X down to 0. Okay, let's tab out edit mode and scale that up a little bit. Oh, actually we need to tab back in, select all, let's pull it into its thing there. Just go ahead and scale it up. Okay, so tab out of that, pull it down, and I kind of just want to, once again I'm going to look at my finger, and I'm seeing the general length of the finger, and that's kind of up halfway into this one. So actually I'm going to pull it down a little bit more, rotate it just a little bit back. We'll just leave it like that actually. But I do want to kind of start getting these all placed and rotated, so just start rotating them. This one we just line up our edges. You can see on the faceted faces here, you can see an edge made out there. So just R to rotate and get them kind of placed like so. And this one, well, this one's a little bit different. Let's actually scale that up on Y. I'm going to widen that a little bit. And let's look at that. Because the thumb's just a different one. It's just a different monster.